Hey guys, welcome to the Live Well, the fishing podcast for everyone. Brought to you by Digital Sportsman, Groove Fishing, Sonar Pros, Lip Sticker Fishing, Brooks Anderson Fishing, Bill Payne's Guide Service, Big League Charters, the Money Saver Lure Retriever, Atlanta Safe House, Fishers of Hope, and Turner Tire. We appreciate all these fine sponsors who make this show possible. Now let's sit back and talk fishing. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Live Well this Thursday night. Did you like that new intro video? Guys, I'm noodling with it.
That's good.
I'm trying to figure it all out. It will get better as we go along. But hey, listen, we're glad you guys could join us tonight. Got a very, very good episode, I believe, for you guys. One that I've been wanting to do for a very, very, very long time. And I think once it gets started, you guys will figure out why that I'm doing it this way. Again, Father Time is in the house up there. How are you, sir?
We're doing good. Doing good.
And Tim's there. And guys, listen, Kevin is absolutely wrecking his brain trying to figure out who this guest is, because it is somebody from his past and his present, and he has no ideas. So if you guys are ready, Kevin, here's how we're going to do this. Here's how I'm going to introduce this to you. I got a video that I want you to watch. All right. And once we get through the video, you will kind of understand it. It's several of them, but I think it's going to bring this person into your mind a little bit better. So are you ready?
Ready.
You ready? All right. Well, here we go. You guys pay attention to this. I will see you on the back side of this video. All right. I guess you're wondering who the guest for tonight's show is. In fact, the guest is already here. He just doesn't know it. And that's right, Kevin. Tonight, you are my guest on the Live Well. And there's a couple of reasons why. First of all, I love you. You're like a father figure to me. More importantly, you got a hot wife. I mean, you do. Don't get mad at me. And if something happens to you, she'll be in great hands. I promise. No, but in all seriousness, I'm joking. I mean, she is lovely, but I'm joking. There's just something about you being a part of my life that means so much to me. From the first time you walked into our shop and you kept coming back, and eventually we stuck your ass in a chair, and now you've basically just become part of the show. And I know how much the show means to you. I mean, you put more effort into your question of the night than most people do into their 40-hour work week. Slightly crazy, but you do a great job. I know you had some medical issues, and you missed some time, and you hated being away. You love us, and that's just plain and simple. You love us. And I miss you feeding me. I hate having to get my own food now. That's one of the things about not being able to get together at the shop that I really miss the most. One day we'll get it figured out and we'll be able to all get back together again. But the real reason is I wanted to give you a Christmas present because of what you mean to me. And what I wanted to do was interview you tonight and to get your story down, so that your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and generations can pull it up and say, you know what, that's my pops. And I know you got a head full of knowledge, you got a heart of gold, and I just want to make sure we get it, we get it down for like a lasting legacy. So this episode means more to me, as much to me as any episode I've ever done, probably more. Now, before we actually get to interviewing you, I got a few other guys that they've got a few words they want to say.
Hey, Kevin, I hear you're the guest on the show tonight. Man, that's awesome. You have a passion for fishing that I absolutely admire. It shows up week to week with our guest. It shows up week to week with the question of the week, obviously. Man, you've been a genuine friend, and for that, I can't say thank you enough. And I learn something from you every time I talk to you. But more importantly, something I don't know that you realize. In our group chat, you have been our biggest cheerleaders, whether it be individually or as a group. And man, that means the world to a lot of us. Brother, we love you. I'll see you next time.
Kevin's one of those guys that are just always happy and positive about everything. He sits back and he listens, takes everything in, and then gives out genuine information to anybody that's willing to listen to him. Kevin is one of those that you try to model yourself after.
Hey, Kevin, just wanted to say, man, you are an inspiration to me. I've looked at you and loved hearing all the stories and all the fun that you bring to the show, and definitely something I aspire to be one day. I love the passion and joy you have for sport of fishing and just the people around you, the camaraderie. You've always light it all up and keep everybody happy and positive. And I also love the way you talk about how happy your life is with your wife. I think it's inspiring to hear how much a good relationship can carry you on through life, and that's very important, and definitely something I aspire to have one day. And man, just appreciate you. We need to go bass fishing though very soon we will. So wish you the best. Thank you for everything, and let's go fishing soon.
Look forward to watching tonight, Mr. Kevin. Congratulations. As always, thank you for the kindness you've shown me when I've been on the show. Thank you for being the conservationist you are. And thank you for helping spread the word and being a great representation of what people in the fishing community should be. Look forward to seeing you on tonight's episode and many more. And hopefully, the next time I'm on, you will be too. Congratulations.
Hey, Kevin, just want to say thank you for everything you do for the show. Being on every Thursday, your really difficult questions of the night that a lot of people can't seem to get. But just thank you for everything you do, just being a part of the community and helping the show, just being a part of it, and for making Fire Tiger rattle traps relevant again.
Hey, Kevin. Heard you're the guest tonight, dude. That's awesome. I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for me, all the food, all the advice, the free shoes. I mean, everything. You are too kind, and you're a really good man, and your entire family is lucky to have you. I know that we are.
Hey, Kevin. Thanks for always being there for us, man. You're a great role model for this group. We love you. Appreciate you. We'll get you to Gunnersville soon. Merry Christmas.
That was awesome.
What do you think about that, Father Time?
That was awesome.
And
my wife had to get up and get Kleenex. You know that?
Did you tear up a little bit?
Oh, she did. Yeah.
She did.
Well, I'm fighting it. I don't mind telling you.
Listen, I know. Listen, I just want to say this, that, and I'll try to do it without tearing up. I'll try. Hell, Tim, say something. I don't know that I can.
Well, I did that during the video. Kevin, it's been an honor to have met you, gone fishing with you. You have become part of this crew. We've missed you being out with your back, but you're getting better, and I cannot wait to get back on the water with you in a tournament, because we had some really good times, made some funny little videos for TikTok and whatnot, and we turned in some respectable bags just by pulling it out of our ass.
Yeah. Yep.
Flying by the seat of our britches out there.
That's right. That's right. Listen, I love you, yo son of a bitch. I love you. You have no idea.
Damn, Danny.
Listen.
Lots of people watched it.
I know. But you guys mean the world to me to take some old man in and allow me to be part of a group that tells it like it is and acts like my brothers. And, you know, we get along so well. We ride each other a little bit, but that's what brothers do.
Mm-hmm.
But we're there to support one another when we need to be.
Well, that's right. I was just thinking, you know, going into the Christmas spirit, you know, going into the season, you've given us so much. I mean, like I said, you fed us, you always trying to pay for everything. It didn't matter. And I was like, I want to try to pay you back.
You did.
Well, I wanted something that, again, that your kids and your grandkids and, you know, whatever they can pull up and just like they can know the man that was in their lives. And listen, I mean, I'm trying not to cry. I swear to God, because we're going to get to interviewing you, because I know you got a lot of knowledge in your head. But dude, I tell you what, you are. My dad has been gone 15, 16 years.
you're probably the closest thing I got, and I am proud. I'm just proud to be associated with you.
That's a hell of a compliment, Danny. Thank you.
You're welcome, and you got a hot wife.
That's a hell of a compliment too. Thank you.
You did well. You did well. So anyway, guys, listen. I know it was kind of emotional at the start. We don't do it like this, but I really, Kevin, how old are you now?
73.
73. You've been fishing of those 73 years. How long you been fishing?
Gosh,
Gosh.
probably really into fishing the last 45, 46 years.
Okay, well there you go. So we got 45 or 46 years of experience that we're going to tap into tonight. But again, like I said, I want to do this as much for your kids and your grandkids as I do for you and your lovely wife and all our viewers. I want to get your story real quick, and we'll get to the fishing talk. But just kind of, if you don't mind, I'm going to throw you a softball question. I know you're from Florida, and I don't hold it against you, but just kind of tell everybody, what your life was like in Florida and how you ended up in Georgia.
Oh God, Danny.
Yeah.
I had a great childhood. You asked my brother, he'd tell you differently, but all I remember is anything that we needed, not that we wanted, but that we needed, it was always there from my parents. My dad's been gone. I'm sorry, but he's been gone 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he used to take us fishing. He bought us a little 12-foot aluminum boat with a Ted Williams 7.5 horsepower from Sears. And we used to drag it down to the lake. We had to carry it probably quarter mile, me and my brother. And that started me into fishing. But then, when you turn 16 and you get the car and the gas and you have to go to work and chase the girls and stuff like that. Sorry, baby.
But he had the best car ever.
I did have a good car. That takes, I guess, the back seat more or less.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until I met Terry and we started dating. Her brother-in-law used to go wade fishing, her and my father-in-law, and he's been gone 5 years now. But we would wade down in Lake Toho, and I'm a city boy, you know that. And I didn't know any better, so I just did what they did and put on a pair of jeans and tennis shoes, and you had one rod and you carry what tackle you could carry in your top pocket, and we'd go out there and wade fish. Fishing was so good, we used to have to get a rope to put them on the stringer with and tie it to a stick, and each of us get one end of the stick, carry them back. I mean, they were 5 to 7 pounds, all of them. It wasn't until later that I found out there were gators in Lake Toho. So my first boat, I guess you could say, was a 17-foot Hurst, Hurst bass boat with a 135 Evinrude. And I had that for about a year. And I moved up and bought a new boat, a Procraft 1750 competitor, dual console with a 150 Johnson. I had my name put on the motor because I wanted to be recognized on the lake. Of course, I didn't know what the hell I was doing at that time. But the guy that sold me the boat, Tim King, was a good friend of mine. We were both in Rotary together, but he and I started fishing the tournaments around that area. And that's what I guess lit the fire, the tournaments, the competition. And it wasn't that I wanted to do good. I just wanted to go out and have fun and learn. And that was the process. And I've told y'all before in one of the episodes where they called a guy in because I thought the gel coat was coming off the boat, but I had waxed it so much that it was taking the gel coat off the boat. They re-gel coated it, and I put it in the shop one day for service, and he called me and said, "There's a guy here who wants to buy your boat." I said, "Well, I don't want to sell it." What do I tell him? He says, "Just name a price, something outrageous." And so I gave him a price, and the guy bought it. So we ordered a Ranger from Spindale, North Carolina. We loaded the kids up the night before Easter when I got off work that Saturday night, we drove to Spindale, North Carolina, and they were so worried about not having an Easter basket. We had those hidden in the back of the van. We had Easter Sunday morning up there in Spindale, North Carolina, and Monday morning I picked up my Ranger and we drove back. And that's basically in Florida. When I moved up here, I still had that. It was a 374 with a 150 on it. Moved up here in 92 for a year. My wife stayed in Florida. We had just built a house down there. Probably had it about a year. And we knew we couldn't get much equity out of it. So she stayed there. I lived up here for a year, and I'd go home every other weekend when I got off work Friday night. In 93, they moved up. And 2001, I bought another Ranger, traded that one in. I kept trying to get this guy to trade with me, and he wouldn't trade. One day he called me and says, "You still want to trade?" And I says, "Yeah." So I went down there, and he had the boat I wanted. And while he was closing the deal on the new boat I bought, his daughter was closing the deal on my old boat because some guy had wanted it. That's why he traded with me. He was a smart old man. But I had that until 2016 when I ordered the current boat I have now, 520C Ranger with a 250 on it. And as most of the people know, especially our brothers here, I'm anal about taking care of something.
God, yes.
I am. If the kids move a tool and they put it in backwards, I know that somebody's in my toolbox. That's just the way I am. It's the way my dad raised me. If you take something or you borrow something, you put it back or you give it back in better shape than what you had it. So that's the way I learned. I've fished with a lot of great people. I've learned a lot through some of the tournaments that I fished. I know that not all bass fishermen are going to give you the time of your life when you're out with them, but there's something to be learned. And that's the mind aspect that I took into it. What can I learn and how can I use that somewhere down the road? If I have a real weakness when it comes to fishing, is that I still think I'm in Florida fishing in 8 feet of water. And that's a struggle for me. So those guys that said they want to go fishing with me, I want to go fishing with you because I want to learn how to use that forward-facing sonar. I want to learn how to fish those ditches and those ledges because I don't give it long enough to learn, to grow from it. And up here, you have to.
Yeah.
But I worked with public supermarkets. The day I turned 16, my father took me down. He was a store manager for Publix, and he took me down to the bank, and he said, "You want to buy Mom's car?" And she had a 63 Dodge Dart, slant six, with a push-button transmission. Now, I'm telling my age here. He walked into the bank with me and said, "My son wants to borrow $600 to buy a car." And I thought I was on top of the world. And we closed the deal out and we got back in. He said, "Drive over to the store," which was across the street. And when we got there, we got out and he says, "Give me the keys." I said, "What for?" He says, "Go in there and see Herman. You're going to work tonight." And that's the way I started with public supermarkets on the clock. I worked with them for 46 years, retired as a district manager. I worked with a lot of people through those years. I had anywhere from, I'd say, 900 to 1,300 people under my control at one time. I say under my control. I worked with 1,300 people. They were my associates. I worked for them to make sure they could do the job that they were hired to do and become owners of the company like me. And I've got 2 boys, Kevin Jr. and Clayton. Kevin's 45 and Clayton is 43. Actually, he's 44. I take it back. Oh, 43. I'm right. I've got 5 grandsons. One's a step grandson. I've got Colton. His name is Austin. Then I have Colton, Will, Gage, and Jackson. So they go from 21 down to 10. And just the biggest part of my life is spending time with them. And but that's only second to stay with my wife. being with her and having fun and doing the things that we plan to do. Some things that I learned in life, I don't want to be an eye-wisher. I wish I'd have done this. I wish I'd have done that, because you can't go back and get those things. Once they're gone, they're gone. I learned that if you're not in the parade, you're watching it go by. So I don't want to be sitting on the sidelines. I want to be somewhere out there doing something, being a part of it. I could go back to work tomorrow. I miss it that much. I really do. I really do. But I wouldn't get to spend time with you guys like I do. And that, we can't have that.
Right. That's right. See, and listen, Kevin probably just talked more in the last 5 or 6 minutes than he gets to do on any of the shows, because he's always quiet. He's always listening. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to make you the guest tonight, because I wanted to give you an opportunity, because you're very, and I always ask you got anything to say? When we were sitting beside each other, and you would be like, no, I'm good. I'm listening. And you were always taking it in. But inside that noodle of yours, there is a lot of knowledge. And even in just life advice, we got a lot of young guys that watch us, and there are some guys over there that are your age too as well. And I mean, I don't even have time to read all the chats or the compliments that guys are giving you and all that. I do. There's one question. What was the name of your dad? What was your dad's name?
His name was Roy DeMont Thornton. My name is Kevin DeMont Thornton. They shortened his middle name to Monte, M-O-N-T-E. And for the longest time, when I would go to the warehouse, the people that he'd been there a long time too, he retired after 41 years. They would call me Monty just because he was my dad, I guess. But best guy in the world, best friend I could ever have on the male side.
And he just had, I mean, it was just his birthday just recently, right? It would have been his birthday.
Yeah, we went down and celebrated there's some odd coincidences. I want to answer one other thing that you said first. There's some young guys on here. For those guys that are thinking about getting married or are getting married, the best advice I can give you is you can choose to be happy or you can choose to be right. I chose to be happy in my marriage. So
you guys will figure that one out soon enough.
Soon enough. That's correct.
Very wise advice. Check out this comment right here. And I'll just, guys, if I missed your comment, he can see them on his side. I got too involved in the conversation to check all of them. So if I missed something, you guys put it again. But Kevin, this is from Wacky Rig, another Publix guy here. See that Mr. George in you. Happy birthday, sir. If you want to go scoping sometime, I'll take you.
Reach out to me, Wacky Wig. I'm on Messenger. You can get me there.
Yeah, you ain't gonna find him nowhere else.
I'm still learning. You can if you send a chisel and a rock in the mailbox, I'll get to it.
That's right.
I'm still learning that stuff. I told Danny before the show started, I finally got me some DJI cameras and I'm going to start recording. I recorded 8 hours this past Saturday with my grandson, but after we edit it, it's probably going to be about 4 minutes long because there was a lot of some language things we can't share.
A lot of foul language in that.
Well, boat talk.
Boat talk. So listen, hey, we get it. And guys, listen, the man knows a lot too. So I want you guys to actually throw out some fishing questions as well. We're gonna pick his brain a lot because he does. Listen, he's been through a lot as far as like tournament fishing. We all know how he likes to use the bathroom off the boat. We got that down pat. Everybody knows that, the process and all that. But there are some things in this man's brain that I think can help you guys catch more bass. So anytime, if you got something, if you got life questions, just like Coleman did right there with getting married, throw them out there as well. But let's see. Let's pull this one up right here. This is from Clayton.
Yep.
Hey, Dad, it's your number 2 son. Very proud of who you are and even more proud to call you dad. Love you. Like that. That's good. That's good. I love it. Boat talk gets out of hand sometimes, Tyler, 100%. Now, how about this? Let's throw this question out too, and we'll get back to your life and all that as well. What's your favorite lake in Florida to fish?
Absolutely Lake Toho.
And why?
Well, because that's the lake I fished the most. I just loved it because of the grass. It had everything, any kind of grass you would want. It was in that lake. But that's the lake I really got into fishing with. It was a big enough lake that you never got to get tired of fishing any particular area. It was much like Lake Kissimmee. I also liked the Harris Chain up there in Leesburg, Mount Dora area. I fished Claremont Chain, the Winter Haven Chain. Okeechobee would rank up there too pretty good. It's just that there's so much to do down there other than fishing when you get back in. I could spend some time down there.
Yeah, absolutely. How about this one right here from Tyler? How should I approach Toho in mid-January?
If you have a cold front come through, you're in trouble because those fish cannot take the cold. But I would certainly be looking for grass. I would stay on North Steer Beach area up around that way, or Whaley's Landing. A lot of people don't fish Whaley's Landing, but there's some big fish there.
Okay, and this is a question for me. Growing up in Florida, you were talking about you still feel like you fish in Florida, even up here. What are some of the habits from learning how to fish in Florida that you've brought up to Georgia that just don't work? You're like, dadgummit, this is just, I'm kicking in from the old school days. And you're just like, I know this won't work. What do you do?
Dan, I don't think there's anything that won't work up here. It's just got to find the right time of the year or the right lake to use it in. I was a big rattle trap guy. I still am. I love the spinner bait. I think the thing up here I learned that I didn't use down there enough was topwater because there was so much grass. And, I started off wading and you couldn't get out of the grass. It was just too thick, too tall, and too far out. The topwater I've had to learn up here. If you went to Okeechobee, you could fish topwater. But that was in the boat then. I was wading back in Toho to start with. But, the only thing, you can still use spoons down there.
What's that spoon you use that you said you would throw on top? We talked about it one episode.
That's called a weed wing.
A what?
Weed wing.
Oh, hell, he's going to go get it. He's got it he's got it in his office. Look.
Yeah, because you can't find these damn things. Let's see.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like.
It's like a buzz bait almost, right?
A small buzz bait. You put a pork frog on the back of it, a real pork frog, and just throw it out there as far as you can and just wind it back in, and they would tear it up. It's pretty weedless, too.
It looks.
And the other thing you were talking about a spoon was the Johnson spoon. I'm sure you remember that one.
Yeah.
That was a good thing to throw down there, too. You got to remember, you're in Kissimmee grass. It's probably anywhere from 12 to 14, 15 inches high off the water, so you could drag stuff through it with ease.
Gotcha. Tim, anytime you got something, you shut me up and just jump in there. If not, I'm going to keep going down the comment with the questions there.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, here we go. So, Robert Blesky, of course, he's from Florida, too. There's just something about
he's
Florida
a Okeechobee boy.
Yeah. What's the most embarrassing ship moment you've had in a boat? Now, listen, I don't know if he's actually talking about the act of actually using the bathroom.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how he's talking about that either.
That's a loaded question, dude. You got to be careful with that.
You can take it and run with it either direction.
It's not embarrassing. It's hard to embarrass me, really. I get red, but I don't get embarrassed, do I? She said no. I don't. I just, everything is just fun to me. It's part of life. I've never fallen in that I can remember. Now, my son, I took him out on a winter day. My oldest boy, he was probably 5. And, back then you stuck your pole down in the water to see how deep it was. And he saw me do that. So he reached over and I stuck his pole down in there. And of course I'm facing forward. I hear this kabloosh and I look back and he's not there. In sheer panic, I just flipped my rod, just threw it out and jumped in the water and found him, brought him up, put him in the boat, but it was freezing. And we got ready to go and I realized I'd thrown my rod overboard. So I got back into the water and was just feeling around my feet and I found it, put it in the boat and we took off and I caught hell when I got home.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. But you know what? That's a memory.
It is a good memory.
That's a memory. It's a great memory. Now, guys, he mentioned his boat earlier. What boat do you have now?
520 Ranger, 520C.
You guys have heard me say this on the show before. That is the cleanest damn boat I have ever seen in my life. And Kevin and I fished a night tournament over on Allatoona, and I'm standing on the back of the boat. And you guys know I got to dip in everywhere I go. And I'm sitting back there like, man, I don't want to put one in because I might just drop something on his carpet and all that. And the best thing that happened the entire night was Kevin turned around to me and goes, Danny, you can put one in. I'll vacuum it out like that. I was like, whew.
Yeah.
But we had a good time that night. That was the night of the snake.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, that's when the snake was in your seat, wasn't it?
It was dark too. Nobody realizes how dark Allatoona is when you get
Right.
away from it. And I mean, I looked down and we had just enough moonlight. And I looked down. I've said this before. I looked down. I'm like, all right, I know Kevin's boat by now, and I don't think that's a strap or something. I went, Kevin, like that. And sure enough, and I don't know how long that snake had been down there between my legs or whatever the entire ride. But
the chewing and dipping does not bother me. The guys I fish with, we travel the tournament trail more or less together. They all chew or dip one or the other. And, I tell them, wherever you spit's not going to rust. So I'm not worried about it.
It still scares the hell out of me because that is one clean boat.
Yeah, I was scared to death. I was going to peg the motor in the dark out there fishing a night tournament. I'm standing back there hanging onto a power pole, peeing off the back, going, I know I'm not getting the boat. I'm pretty sure I'm not hitting the boat.
Yeah, I did that too.
There was a time, and it's funny, I'm getting probably ripe in my old age a little bit, but there was a time when I wouldn't let anybody else take the boat, drive the boat, whatever. It was me or nothing. I let my grandson drive it on the lake the other day. He's never been on to another ramp, but he'd only seen me drive to one time.
See, you're getting soft.
I know it. but when we get home, you know what he does? He vacuums it and wipes it down and helps me clean it.
See, I
don't have to tell him; he does it.
What is that? Teach a child the way it should go, and they'll never depart from it, or something. I know there's a Bible verse or something like that.
Yeah, something along that line.
Now, my oldest boy thinks it's just a boat. Dad, it's just a boat. Don't worry about it.
Well, I would be like your oldest boy, and you'd probably be beating on me a little bit. Hey, Farmer wants to know, what is your go-to technique that you have the most confidence in?
That's easy, spinnerbait.
That is interesting because we always, you always bring up the spinnerbait. Always. And I think the last time, the last episode we were on or something, one before that, we're like, what would you be throwing? Spinnerbait. You always say spinnerbait. Why do you have such confidence in a spinnerbait?
You can do so much with it. You can slow roll it. You can drag it. You can keep it on the top. You can wake it if you need to. I mean, it's a confidence bait. I've just caught so many fish on it. And then the second would, believe it or not, I love a rattle trap too. Fire Tiger rattle trap.
That hence Tyler saying that. Thanks for making the Fire Tiger rattle trap cool again. Let me ask you about your spinnerbait. What do you throw it on? What's your setup? I know what's coming.
Yeah, it's a 7-1 Johnny Morse Platinum rod, medium heavy. I throw it on 15-pound Cigar Invis X, and I throw a 7/16 ounce Terminator titanium wire spinnerbait.
That was my next question. What is your favorite spinnerbait, and how many of those do you have?
God, it's between 80 and 100.
Because he goes on eBay, guys, and he buys these things up. It's the titanium Terminator, right?
Yeah.
And we've had more conversations about that. But now, interesting, a lot of guys now, when we talk to them and they're on lakes like in Florida, and all that, anytime you mention grass, it's the chatterbait. And that's, they always talk about the chatterbait, but you didn't have chatterbaits when you were coming up.
No.
You had to be throwing the spinnerbait and all that. And it just has always worked for you.
Yeah, back then you fished with any spinnerbait you thought looked nice. But for some reason, I got hooked on that titanium because it retains its shape. It springs back. And, you catch anywhere a 3-4 pound fish, and it just annihilates a stainless steel wire spinnerbait. And to try and get it to run straight, I'm anal again. I want that thing to run straight, not lean a little bit, but straight. So
yeah, you don't
that titanium wire does that. Yeah.
All right, so this is good. A lot of guys still saying, "Hey, what a great guy you are." We definitely know that. Now, this is a memory. Again, we're talking fishing and we're talking memories. When the show was in the basement, thank God I met Kevin, because Danny had an old phrase from time to time, and Kevin explained Danny's phrase had nothing to do with fishing. And Tyler goes, perhaps it was yum yum, and we used to get everybody to say yum yum, which has a meaning that a few people know, and it's not something that we really want to talk about. on here, but I believe was it you or what Ken was going to say he wanted yum. I was asking you guys what you wanted for Christmas or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then Ken was getting ready to say he wanted some yum yum or something like that. I don't know what it was. And
it was along that line there.
Yeah, and you educated him
real quick
on that. And so listen, and you knew, but it was Tyler. You are right. It was yum yum. Let's see what's
you see that one from my son on there, the other son, Kevin Jr.
Where is it at? I don't know if I've gotten to it yet. I'm so far behind. What is it? I'm sure I'll bump into it.
It says, "Hey, Dad, number one son here. I love driving your boat because I drop the hammer on the thing and trim her up and let her fly."
Yeah, there you go. Right.
That's him. That's him to the T.
That's him to the T. And and Vanessa right there above it.
That's his wife.
Yeah, I love you so much. Pop. Is it Pop or Pape? Because that looks French to me.
It's Poppy.
Poppy.
P-O-P-P. Yeah.
Okay, Poppy. Demont. What's your middle name again?
Demont. D-E. Wait a minute. Let me.
I'll go Poppy Demont. That sounds.
I shared this with
you.
This was going to be one of the questions one night. You remember, Danny?
Yes, it was.
What's my middle name and how do you spell it?
Yeah,
according to my birth certificate.
Yeah,
y'all have never gotten that one. You can't even Google that.
He was going to ask that as a question of the night. Y'all talk about having the impossible question of the night. He was going to do that one night. I'm like, well, there you go. Silverpunk. Let's see. I missed one real quick. Let me hit Tyler's. Do you fish the Lost Mountain tournaments real quick?
No.
Okay, there you go.
There's the club out there, but no, I have not fished with them.
I hadn't heard you talk about that. What's your most prized antique bait in your collection?
Yeah, it probably would be. A weed wing's going to be one of them for sure.
A what?
But I've got a weed wing because you just can't find those anymore. But Danny, I've got it would be just a center coffee table in our family room, and it's glass on the top, and it's a big drawer about 3 by 3, and there's probably 100 antique lures in there that I've just collected over the years. I haven't put anything in there in years. Yeah, she keeps threatening to get rid of the damn thing, but
well, I know which way she can send it.
That's one of those ones where I'm gonna be right. I'm not happy.
That's right, you're not gonna be happy. A man's got to do what a man's got to do at certain times in his life. Let's see.
Get a piece of jewelry or something.
Yeah, they just buy her another purse. That's how you get out of it.
Yeah, another purse for the safe.
That's it.
You'll get one when we go to Vegas again. That's the only place you'll buy them is in Vegas.
Well, I'm tired. You know what? I wish you'd have never told my wife because that's all I hear about is a purse safe.
We as a group, we need to plan a trip to Vegas. I'll tell you what, I'll set us up with the rooms and everything. We'll get great prices, good food.
You gonna finance it for me?
No. But I can probably
don't like me that damn much.
I can get the rooms pretty good for you. I guarantee you that. Just got to fly. I'll have a limo pick you up at the airport and take you back.
Hell yeah, bougie. But
I'm down.
Let me tell you this. So Atlanta Safe House, of course, is one of our fine sponsors, and Jake over there is actually giving me a safe. A little behind the scenes present and all that. You know, sometimes it pays to know people. It's a nice, big, huge Browning safe. You know what I'm gonna do with it? I'm gonna give it to my wife so she can put her damn purses in there. So I ain't got to listen to no more of that stuff. That Miss Terry's got a purse safe, and now my wife can have a purse safe like Terry.
I'm fixing to buy another one, Danny.
I can't afford that many purses. I used to buy a purse. Like if I got in trouble, you buy a purse.
This is for me.
You gonna have a purse safe, Kevin?
No, I don't. I only have 2 wallets in my name, and those I got to look for because they don't make those anymore either.
Okay, let me get back there. Have you ever considered? Oh no, Doc Holliday. You and me, Kevin. 50 years ago in our club, they called me Jimmy Houston.
You and me.
You remember Doc Holliday 50 years? Now listen, 50 years ago in our club, I can't remember what the hell I did last week, but 50 years ago.
Right.
So apparently you fished with Doc Holliday a long time ago. Look, he's looking. Don't look at. She ain't a phone a friend. Don't be looking over there at her.
Yes, I am a phone a friend.
She's more than phone a friend.
You keep thinking about it.
I'm bewildered.
It might come back to you. How about this one right here? Have you ever considered a side gig doing Roland Martin impersonator acts? And we know why that question's on there.
Yeah, I still got that shirt with the lettering on it. I bought the
know.
sticky letters. I have not peeled it off.
That was classic.
It was, and I have a lot of people say that they appreciated that a lot. They thought that was funny. How about this? Farmer goes, I've got a bait. I think Kevin would appreciate that. I actually want to give it to him because I have a few. It's the Bayou Boogie.
I've not seen that.
Oh,
I don't even know.
don't see those anymore.
Well, I'm right here with Wacky Rig on the next one right here. What the hell is a weed wing? Weed wing? Is that a fish whistle?
No, it's not.
What is it?
The blade turns. It's got a little spoon type to keep it up on the water.
Oh, that's what that is?
And you got a weed guard. This is called the weed wing.
Oh, okay. Hold it up a little higher. There you go.
There you go.
I thought he was talking about something else.
No, that's
Yeah.
a weed wing.
Yeah.
And like I said, the blade spins and it spins real easy.
How
Came
old
in
is
3 sizes.
How old is that bait you got in your hand right there?
I'd say probably 40 years.
And that son of a bitch ain't got the first bit of tarnish or nothing. It looks like it come right out of the pack. Look at it. It's like shiny.
I've got a friend up here. He's on eBay a lot. He finds them for me. And he'll pick them up. Ernie Miller. He's the guy I fished with for a long time when I first came up here. Ernie's what, 7? I think Ernie's 79. So we go together good in the boat. And he's methodical, slow dragging. And I'm up front firing from 90 different directions. So we work together good. We fished for a long time together. Great memories.
I like that. Now, Tyler, this is going to happen sometime in your life. He goes, I wonder if the day will come where a Vision 110 will be an antique lure.
Eventually,
the answer is yes, because like we got to talking on the lunch break or one of the podcasts about things that my dad got. We were talking about the Ham's beer guy because he used to work for General Distributing, and that's a beer company up in Wisconsin or something like that. And I got all these little, you know how I was using the grocery business. Those distributors are always giving you out those little, giving the grocery store managers the radios or footballs with insignias on it and everything. And a Coke would always give out stuff. And back then we didn't take care of it. Now it's worth a lot of money. So take care of your Vision 110s one day, and it might be worth some money.
We'll be antique for most of those are.
I am antique.
That Doc Holliday guy.
Hmm.
Roy Rogers.
Is that code?
I don't know. So I'm guessing it is.
Okay, well, you guess. So Doc Holliday, he's trying to do that. Now Kent says he was really surprised him when you didn't have a jerk bait that Jim Bitter signature, something like that. He was the first person.
I didn't throw a jerk. I don't even think I own a jerk bait till I got up here.
Yeah, they don't play in Florida.
Not in my boat. They weren't on my boat.
There you go. And I
jerk it right down into the grass and lose it.
You never put your damn back seat in, but he's up front leaning on his seat. Yep. You don't give your son a back seat to lean on?
Most of the time, no.
Why?
Because he'll sit down and eat. I want him fishing. It's a 4-hour
He's
tournament.
Supposed to be fishing, not sitting.
I want him to fish, and he eats. That boy there, and his son, the one I fished with Saturday, Colton, he likes to eat too.
Oh yeah, I bet.
See, I don't eat. I go to if I go through one Gatorade, I'm lucky.
That's the way I am. I get it. I 100% get it.
Rob says bags of chew, but no sandwich.
Yeah, Rob says I'll be down to go. I think we're talking about for Vegas, and I'll pay for Danny's drinks. And I got to
say, they're free.
Hell, no wonder you cheap ass, Rob. How about this one? Kevin, do you ever throw a Carolina rig on Alatuna?
Tuna, Sinclair, Oconee, yes. West Point, yes. That'd probably be my number 3. And that's really from up here. Never threw it in Florida.
So what made you start throwing a Carolina rig up here?
The guys that I was fishing with, they threw it. And they just beat my ass to death. And I said, I'm going to learn to throw this thing. I like a Carolina rig.
A lot of people think it's really boring, though.
Until you hook a fish. But
that's true.
There's a lot of baits that are boring.
That's a good way to slow a power fisherman down. Give him a sea rig, and then it's like you can't just snatch it back. You're going to have to work it.
It's like that spy bait that came out. I got probably 4 or 6 of those things there. And I bet I haven't thrown all 6 of them at one time that would add up to 30 minutes. I just don't have any confidence in it. But that Carolina rig, first time you get a fish on that thing, you're hooked.
Okay.
I mean, it covers a lot of water.
Yeah.
And a lot of tournaments been won with the Carolina rig.
That's true. So give me your top 3 baits to put on a Carolina rig.
Lizard be number 1, lizard be number 2, and then probably a Senko as my 3rd.
So you like the lizard is what you're telling
I
me.
like a lizard. I do.
Okay, what's the best color lizards around here for a Carolina rig?
June bug red.
June bug red.
Yep.
Okay, it's kind of interesting because a lot of guys on Allatoona that I've talked to, and Tim, I don't know if you do it. I know Dave, when he said the other night when he throws one, he throws the Brush Hog Junior on the back, but he always says watermelon red. And all the Allatoona guys always say watermelon red. Tim,
Right.
Tim, is it watermelon red with you? Or what do you throw on a Carolina rig?
I used to throw a lizard when I was younger because that was the way I was taught.
Mhm.
But normally I'll just go with a straight-tailed worm or a Senko. And usually something in the green, watermelon red, watermelon blue.
Right. But
And I throw a Texas rig watermelon green.
Yeah.
But it seems like
red. Yep.
But it's
just Texas.
It's the red, the little red, that seems to be the common thing, no matter whether you're watermelon, green pumpkin, or whatever. A lot of guys like that red.
Danny, I still think it's probably 95% of just putting a bait in front of them. They ain't gonna hit it.
You're probably right.
It's our confidence.
All right, let's read this one out. We love you so much, Pape de Monte. Thanks for all the amazing memories. We will always remember Monday Night Blast Off. So proud of you, sir, Ash and Gage.
That's my daughter-in-law to Clayton and my grandson Gage that live in Rainbow City, Alabama.
In Alabama, in the great state of Alabama. See, can I be honest with you, Kevin, now? You remember before
you have been.
I have been, but I kind of fudged a little bit. Before the show, you kind of asked your wife if she knew, or if something like that. You asked me if I told your wife or something like that. I might have shot her a text and said, "Hey, tell the family to watch tonight." I might have. So you might have to get onto the wife. She's hiding secrets from you. She and I are texting.
Remember, Kevin, just be happy. All you got to do is be happy.
No, she didn't know.
She didn't know.
Be happy.
I love it. Let's see. The Roland Martin impression was for real. It actually was very funny that night. And you know what? He didn't break character that whole damn episode either, did he?
No.
No, I think he stayed in that. King of Bass. Yo, Danny. Rutolo twins checking in. What's up? Did I say that right? Rutolo?
Looks good.
I want to hear you say the last word again.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up with you guys? Creole catfishing. Kind of looks like an old Hawaiian wiggler. Are you talking about Kevin? What do you think he's talking about there? An old Hawaiian wiggler? You think he's talking about your whatever that was, your spoon kind of thing?
He's got to, I don't know what he's talking about. It's not that thing that Jonathan was talking about, was it? That Bayou Boogie thing or whatever it is?
No.
It might be. I don't know what a Bayou Boogie is. Let's see. Doc Holliday.
Boogie was very popular up here in the old swamp water years ago when I was a kid. I think I've got one in an old tackle box out there somewhere.
Is it one of those you could buy like on an infomercial? Or are we talking about like a
No, it's not the banjo minnow or the flying lure or anything like that.
I got you. So Doc Holliday says Jimmy Houston is famous for fishing spinnerbaits. I like spinnerbaits as much as Kevin. So I think he was just trying to lean into that. You old guys all like spinnerbaits. So I think that's where we're going. And there's Jeremy Conrad, our buddy from Kentucky, who has been absent for a while. What's going on, buddy? Glad you could join us tonight. Dave Aldridge says we need to start we need to take Kevin to Gunnersville. We may need to start with a Gunnersville trip to warm up for Vegas.
Oh, we were looking at sometime in February.
We are. We'll do that. We just, he's the room and board over there, so we got to make sure it's okay with him. It's like, Dave, we're all going to your house, dude. He's like, I got to work this weekend. Well, you ain't got to go. And now that I know how to work his shower, it'd be great.
Well,
yeah, that was interesting.
You need to tell them about that story while we're talking about stories.
Okay, so all of us went over to Gunnersville, and we went to Dave's house. Tim had been in the shower before me. I think Tim got in the shower before me. I was waiting to get in the shower. We're over there filming the show, and it's my turn to go get in the shower. And I get in there and I cut the water on and I look and I can't figure out how in the hell to make the water come out of the shower head. I tried everything. I even think I almost broke his shower thing. And I didn't want to tell nobody that I didn't know how to actually work a shower. So I got down on all fours and I just splashed water in my face and all over my body. And I'm washing like I ain't never been in the shower.
Taking a sink
before.
bath.
Taking a sink bath. And I finally, and I'm like, I hope nobody walks in on me like this because it was a very compromising position I was in. But then I get out and I mean, you got to tell somebody. And I just went up to Dave and I'm like, buddy, I don't know how to work your shower. But they showed me he's got bougie shower things. Was it easy for you, Tim? Did you know how to work it? It took you a second.
I got to confess, when you said that, I acted like I knew, like, oh, I didn't have a problem at all. Well, before you went in there, I was studying on that for a hot minute before I figured out how to make it work. But I just didn't say anything. I'm like, no, I got this. And then when you admitted it, I just stayed quiet. I think I told Farmer later before we finally went to bed, I was like, I didn't know how the damn thing worked either.
You left me hanging. You left me hanging, Tim.
Yeah, you go in here like, I don't know how the shower worked. And I'm like, took me a while too. That's why I was in there so damn long.
Well, I thought you were in there
like,
quite a hot minute.
They make the water come from up here. I don't get it.
I could never figure it out. And I felt like a damn fool laying on my stomach trying to splash water on my back. Oh, good time.
Dave, you said those complicated Alabama showers.
That's it. Again, it's memories, right? How about this? John G. Kevin, are you fishing Sinclair or Oconee anytime soon? I'd love to run into you one day.
Yeah, we'll be fishing in Oconee the 3rd of January.
Tournament?
Yep. Barry's Bass Trail.
That's
great
right.
trail for anybody who wants to get into that. Emil fished that this past Saturday on Sinclair.
He did.
He was with Hawk. They finished 4th.
Yeah. How long you been fishing that trail? You've done it for a hot minute, right?
Oh, gosh. It's got to be, I've been retired 11, probably about close to 20 years.
And you like it. You always speak highly of it.
The guys that run it are just good old boys, and they mean it. The things they do, they mean it.
Yeah.
So they appreciate you coming out
there.
You
wanted me to fish with you that I just couldn't get my schedule right.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay. The real backwaters. I think he's talking about Carolina rig. What he throws, he says big worms, 10-inch to 13-inch. And the Carolina rig is a bait that you can do that. You can go finesse. You can go big on that. Our Pickwick friend, Mr. Jeff Brazil. Kevin, what's your favorite old school topwater bait?
Old school. Well, this is a topwater bait, but if you were going to go with something, it would have to be it's going to be a twin tail spinner of some type. What's that guy's name down in Okeechobee? I'm trying to think of it.
I know you like a jitterbug.
It's a devil's horse.
Devil horse.
Yeah. Well, I like a jitterbug just at night. I don't throw it during the day or early morning hours, just at night.
You throw black?
That's the only color I throw.
And
I got a red, but it doesn't do anything for me, so I went back to black.
Okay. Is there anything that you would consider, any lake that you'd consider on your bucket list? What's a lake you want to go to that you've never been to?
Fork.
Lake Fork. Okay. That's a good choice. Here we go. Kent says boogies are like a rattle trap, but very good on the yo-yo, and most of the old ones was color of stripes or something like that. I've never seen. I might have seen them. I don't remember them.
Much like a blade bait,
maybe something like that. All right. Silverpunk says, besides electronics, what do you think has been the most important advancement in fishing? And he's so old, it was probably the wheel. That way he could pull his boat, because you heard him talking about having to drag that boat when he was younger. Right. And I was waiting for his ass to say uphill and downhill in the snow, or uphill both ways in the snow down in Florida.
That was one of Kevin. It didn't snow. It was hot.
That was one of Kevin's stone boat wheels I made the funny TikTok about that was up on the bank. That came off Kevin's trailer back.
I remember that one too.
That's right. But in all seriousness, Kevin, besides electronics, what do you think's been the most important advancement in fishing?
That's hard to put in. Just off the top of my head, I'd have to say the trolling motors.
Okay. What about
I
'em?
mean, reels have come a long way, rods have come a long way. Oh, you're talking about power poles? No.
Well, I
No.
mean, you've seen a lot. I mean, you definitely were around for the first
It had to be.
blasters and
They
all that
used to
stuff.
make so much noise, and they would rock back and forth when you gave them power. And you know, Johnson to me in the
Yes,
years
the
back
old
had the
ones would
best
get up
roll
there
mower.
and wobble inside the lever they're hooked
Oh
to.
yeah,
They'd be out there banging around.
yeah. But
I think,
other than that, Danny, I think the rod and reels, what they've done today with those.
yeah, because I know you had to be around during the days of the pistol grips and all that.
I've still got some Shimano pistol grips downstairs.
I don't doubt that a damn bit. But
I
okay,
remember those, but I don't think I could throw one today. I think I'd hurl it off in the lake.
oh,
Well, they're only 5 feet 6 inches long. That's what you fished with back then.
that's
Yeah.
what I. Do you remember your first bait caster?
Yeah,
Do you still have it? I just got to ask that question.
yeah.
Okay, I figured so.
It's the 5500C.
5500C.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was used. It wasn't brand new. It was used.
Well, what was your first brand new bait caster you ever bought with your own money?
Shimano Bantam 100.
Okay, so that was high tech back then.
Make a little more money back then too.
Yeah, but like compared to now, that's not even that.
Oh, I know it.
Think about that. How much technology is just in the reel, like you said, from what we used to throw back in the 70s and 80s, compared to ones now. Hell, I mean, some of them got computers in them now. Little microchips and all that.
Those Shimano Bantams were the ones you stared at in the store and goes, man, one of these days I'm going to be able to afford one of those.
Yes,
they just look so cool being that aluminum color.
They did, yeah.
Wait a second. Hold on a second.
What you got there?
It's got a Shimano. I don't know if that's a Bantam. It looks
It's a
big.
Bantam 400.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's one of the big
This
ones.
is the one I had on the desk at the shop. That guy came in and gave it to me. Designed for professionals, Shimano Bantam 400. Probably got one damn ball bearing in it too. But if you tried to put this on a rod now, and we went out there and we put whatever on it, and we tried to throw that thing, we'd be cussing and screaming, even if it was in perfect condition, compared to the cheapest of the cheap bait casters now.
Right.
That's how far we've come in technology. I mean,
That'd be like putting a bowling ball on the end of a fishing rod. Those things are so heavy now.
It is heavy. It is very heavy compared to other ones. Lightning rod pistol grip was what I learned to skip with a lot. I do that. Let's see. We've caught up on the. We have caught up on that. Let me try to see if I missed one or two, and then we'll keep talking. I think the most important is the amount of information you can find here on TikTok. That is a big change. That's why I think the young kids, not only is it time out on the water, but the information that's at everybody's hands. Even with our little raggedy muff, show here, guys say they learn from the things from our guests and from guys like you that we talk to, but you can pull up anything. So how did you learn back in the Stone Age, Kevin? I mean, seriously, was it just trial and error?
I don't think I knew any better.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you first get started, you don't know whether you're doing it right or wrong. You just did it. And if you happen to see somebody else doing something different, you try to emulate that a little bit. Back then, though, I think, hell, it ain't that far back, but I don't think anybody was really that more advanced than the next guy in the next boat. I really don't. They had better boats maybe, or faster boats, but I don't think they were any better at casting. Or I think as things progressed and fishing pressure got tougher and the pro circuit started getting bigger with big money, guys retooled or got better at their craft and what they were doing, whether it be pitching, skipping, whatever. They just got better at it. But when you got to spend 5 to 6 days on the water doing that, and Tim, like me and like you, we had jobs, we had families to support and things to do, and we just couldn't do that. They made their dreams come true. Obviously, that dream wasn't that powerful for me. My future with Publix was first and foremost to take care of my family.
And you've done quite well with it too. I love Publix. Publix,
I do too.
Other than Buc-ee's and Publix. If you ever got to go to the bathroom, you find you a Publix or you find you a Buc-ee's. Those are the two that you can damn well guarantee that bathroom is suitable for anybody.
Absolutely.
It is. I mean, that's important stuff. Now, old buddy cranking and yanking right here. Appreciate you joining us tonight. And they call it progress. Now, and then he says, this is Sir eye roll here. Now, listen, cranking and yanking, I know you like progress all the way up until it showed you the fish moving. So I know we all do appreciate the progress that we made, because I remember, again, first bait caster was a cheap Ryobi that I bought from Kmart. And it would cast and reel correctly 3 out of every 10 times. The thing would get stuck, the line, it would get stuck and all that. But I was like, I thought I was on cloud 9 because I owned a bait caster. And we're talking 84, 85.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was kind of a big deal. And it was black. It wasn't silver like that. I just thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Let's see. Old Jeff Brazil right here. Where we at? Let me pull this and pop back up. I still have 3 of my dad's pistol grip loose speed stick rods with Abu 5000Cs on them. I cleaned them and put new line on them. They actually cast nicely. They are probably over 50 years old. Now, that's them Swiss made ones, right?
Yes.
I mean, that was probably the ones actually made in Switzerland. Do they still make them over there? Or
I'm
they?
sure they do. So I would think the 5500s, and I don't even know if you can buy a new 5000C.
What is this one here? It's a Abu Garcia. This is a 65.
I got a 45. A green one is, I think it's a 4500.
I haven't tried to cast this one yet.
Those things are, believe it or not, they're hard to cast. But I used those too when I got tired of them. I had 4. I gave them to a guy that catfishes a lot. But I used to guide with those 5500Cs because they're easy to throw when you've got big old 10-inch shiner on there.
Yeah, this one's a Royal Express. I don't know. I have guys that would come in and they'll give me reels. Something that I will miss about the shop that they just didn't use anymore. That's an old ambassador too of some sorts, but it doesn't say. It says Royal Express. I don't know what that actually is, but this one actually has the spool looks more modern. That it's not that real thin. It's kind of tapered down like that. So I don't know, but I think everybody at one point in time, at least back in the 80s, we all learned how to throw or did throw at least a round model bait caster of some sort.
I don't know why Zebco really didn't come out with anything that was in the baitcaster line. I know Mitchell has that. What's the model number of that Mitchell? Mitchell 300 was a good spinning if you had one.
Right. What's up, Paul Coonan?
I'll tell you how old I am, Danny.
What's that, buddy?
I'll tell you how old I am. Back in the day, when instead of throwing a fluke, we threw a sluggo. You know what those are?
I know what they are, but you don't hear them talked about anymore hardly at all unless you talk about them.
Florida still sells them in Bass Pro Shops.
The sluggo in Florida.
Yep.
I totally get it. Let's see. Paul says the information age has shortened the learning curve tremendously, 100%.
He's right there.
He is. Tony said this podcast is a very powerful tool. Other than the host, there's lots of knowledge, wholesome and just real. Y'all will go places. Well, thank you very much. All right, Ken, this is a good question. Which question of the week required the most research?
Oh God.
Guys, let me tell you this. We tease and all that. But on my phone, Kevin would update the question of the weekend, would come through on notes. On my notes on my phone. And I don't know how many times.
I don't know how we did that.
I don't know. We never set it up, but it would just do it. And I don't know how many times that just out of nowhere, I would see him adjusting it several times a week. So I know you put a lot of time in it, but do you remember one particular question other than, of course, you didn't have to research your middle name, but what was the toughest one for you to research? Because you said towards the end, I mean, you said it recently too. It's hard to keep finding questions.
Yeah, because these guys are getting really good at with AI, and the reason the reason I kept sending you updates on that thing or adjusting it was because I had to go back and research it again from a different point of view to see. I wanted to be right. That night I made that really big error. It bugged me because I don't like to do that. But probably the one that took the longest was the one where they had to name those 5 guys. 5 pros and what lakes they were on. Rick Klund was one of them. God, it's probably 2 months ago.
How much time did you have in it?
My wife would tell you it's sometimes hours.
Yeah.
It's 6-7 hours sometimes.
You're insane.
I can see that.
I believe it 100%.
But I'm looking for stuff, and that counts too. I'm just trying to find something that I know somebody's going to know. Hopefully, that's out there, because I don't want to go. We tease each other about it. I stumped them, but I don't think you can stump your crowd. This crowd we got are pretty tough.
They are tough, but like
Kevin had to adapt, just like fishing. It's like, okay, well, they're AI in this stuff. It's like, all right, well, I'm gonna up and make it to where you can't use technology. You're gonna have to really dig and research to know this.
My favorite,
or it's going to slow them down.
Yes,
so they got to think about it.
My favorite ones.
Some of them it locks up.
Yeah, right. He's like, you got to watch the video to know the answer. And I'm like, well, what video? Well, they got to find out. Like, who the hell knows what video you're watching? But I always like those. But Doug Phillips says, talking about the information back then, reading Bassmaster magazines. I mean, that was one of the ways back in the day. Or watching, Bill Dance or one of them on Saturdays, or Orlando Wilson, or any of the numerous shows out there. Let's see here.
Oh, Danny?
Yeah.
Are you doing a question of the week tonight?
No.
Okay.
I want to keep talking to you.
Okay. I'll save it for next week.
Save it for save it for 2 weeks, because next Thursday's Christmas.
Well, I'm going to be here.
Oh, you want to do a show Christmas night? We might. We might. We never know. No, I'm giving you the week off, because tonight the show's all about you.
All right. It was an easy one too.
Well, good. We don't want to do that, because let's get into the new year if I keep giving more shit away, because I still got to mail the stuff I have. People have already won. Kevin, did you keep a paper log of all your tournaments, like time of year, what you caught fish on, and times?
I did it one time for maybe 8 months, and I said, I just don't have time for this, because in my job I worked 60 hours a week was a short week, and that was off Sunday. So no, I don't have any type of record. You could really go back and look and say what time, the temperature, what season it was in, what month. But I do sit,
He does have lots of books.
You didn't hear that, did you?
No.
She said he does have lots of books on lakes. I have notepads that I sit over there at night watching TV with an earpiece in my ear, and I'm watching videos with one eye and TV with the other. But Danny, I've got book upon book of just notes, plus the notes I get from the show. When I get home and watch the video again, I'm writing stuff down, and I try to put it with the season or what the baits were and how they were thrown.
So you do that? You still do that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, see, that's things a lot of guys don't do. They'll hear it, they'll try to go apply it, but they probably forget a lot of the stuff that's said because they don't take the time to write it down.
Well, I know I'm gonna forget it. That's why it's in there.
Okay.
And I might say baits of February, baits of March, or something like that. And then I can go back and look. If I got a tournament coming up, I can go back and look at the lakes from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago and see what they were saying to throw at that time, and what was won, what it was used to win, how close they were, what resembles that. A lot of good it's done me, but I still do it.
You still do? Okay, that was my next one. Like, have you ever had success going way back, like 10, 15 years ago, getting some notes and it actually working today? Because a lot of guys talk about, well, it's the ever-changing landscape of fishing, right? Fish don't act like they do 10 years ago and all that. So is the information from that far out or that far back still relevant today?
I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is.
Is it more with largemouth than spots?
Absolutely.
So the largemouth haven't changed near as much as a spotted bass.
To me, the largemouth territorial and the spot are going to be moving all the time. So when you find them, the Friday before tournament, Saturday morning, they're no longer there. But that largemouth will be in that vicinity somewhere.
Gotcha. All right, crank in. He says, his first bait caster was a used Ambassador 5000, the red reel. I still have it somewhere. I think a lot of guys, that was probably their first one or one of the first few that they ever tried to throw on back in the day. Now, we're all a little bit older than some of these guys.
Well, really, that was a high-end reel back there, too.
Yes, it was.
That's what we all wanted.
I got the hell beat out of me because I messed my grandfather's up. I remember that. And that was one of those, go get you a switch, boy. Because Papa would work and I would sneak over. No, well, so my grandfather, my dad let them move beside us because my grandparents were getting a little bit older, and so they lived right beside us. And he had his tackle box, and back then it was those big fold out, 3 trays you could stick. You know what I'm
Each
talking about, the
side,
old
yeah.
Planos or whatever. Over the course of, say, maybe 10 years, his bait selection might have dwindled a little bit because old Danny would sneak out of it, and Granny let me do whatever I want. I was the oldest grandson and all that. Granny, I'm going to go look in Papa's tackle box and all that. And she would never tell on me. She wouldn't say a word, but Papa would know. And then one day I backlashed his ambassador, and I couldn't get it out and all that. And it was either reel it up and make it look right, which is what I did, or cut the line out. And I reeled it up like that. I remember next time we went fishing, he tried to throw something or whatever it did. It went about like 10 yards, and he knew instantly. He just looked at me, and again, I talked about it on the lunch break. They had one of them foam trucker hats. Michelin, it was the Michelin man on that thing because he delivered tires and all that. Had that daggum knot right there on the top, and he just wore my ass out with that knot right there for messing up his daggum, his ambassador. So good times though. Good times. Aaron wants to know if you've ever used metal rods.
That would be a no. I do have a unique rod. I've got a Kevlar rod. That was my father-in-law's.
A Kevlar rod.
Yeah, made a Kevlar.
Who made a Kevlar rod?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Shimano, but I've got it down in the basement.
No, I mean, I don't doubt you got it for sure. Let's see. Royal Expresses were out in the 90s. Okay, so that's what this is, the Royal Express. So this is a 90s ambassador, Aaron says. Okay, because they were a huge deal. Okay.
Does it say where it's made? Usually on the bottom it will.
It was made in Sweden. Made in Sweden. So there you go. It's a 6 3-1 too. The gear ratios on the side.
I don't think Ambassador had high speed on those models.
Well, let's see. So that, and I wonder if this other one says it. That one doesn't say it. That's the only one I got that actually says it. Let's see, where were we at right here? Kevin, I still got Sluggos. How about this one right here? I still got him, Kevin. Sluggos, they have more action than any other bait. Kent says like
Any of those things, they caught the full lot of fish back in the days.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever. I might have fished with one, but it's been so long I don't remember. I have a 4500 CA first Abu with a thumb bar. Wife gave it to me for Christmas in 1974. Boys, I was born in 72. I mean, so that real. Do you still have it, Greg? I think. I mean, he says I have, so I assume you still have it. That's pretty awesome. Zebco has bait casters now. Timothy Turner.
He's up there with me in age.
Yeah, I'm getting there, buddy. Listen.
No, I'm talking about Greg.
No, Greg. Yeah, you and Greg got us by a couple years, but we ain't far behind. I had a couple of Abu 4600.
Danny, what are you, 54?
53.
53. You 20 years behind us.
Well, that's why I call you Pops, dude.
Right?
I mean, yeah. I had a couple of Abu 4600C bait casters. I used them for 15 years or more before they finally quit working properly. Timothy Turner. And I mean, listen, it's about like everything. They don't make them like they used to. Even though the technology's better, I mean, these things are old, and I probably could still go fishing with them tomorrow. If they weren't jacked up. If they were in good condition, I'm sure I could go fish with them tomorrow. War Eagle the best. What's up, my friend? Found a lot of Bassmaster old tournament footage, 70s, 80s, 90s on the YouTube channel. Lynn Dollar was a great time in glory days of bass fishing for the average Joe. Now, we never kind of got into what decade did you start tournament fishing, Kevin? Would it have been in the 70s?
Late 70s.
Late 70s. So, all right. So, how about this?
Early 80s.
Early 80s? Okay. Well, close enough. 70s, 80s. It's all back in the day. What's the biggest difference in a tournament then and a tournament now?
Biggest difference.
Other than, I mean, and we're not talking about technology or the boats or anything. We're just talking about like the way tournaments are run.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go with technology. I think it's more of a laid back atmosphere back there when they ran tournaments than what they do today. I mean, you didn't hear talk of the polygraphs. You didn't hear talk of guys. You didn't hear talk of anybody ever caught cheating. I think it was more of an honor thing and respect thing back then than what it is today. And everything is so scrutinized today, the way things are. And it's almost left up to interpretation, whether it be a polygraph or whatever. It's still an interpretation by the guy giving the autograph. So I think it was more laid back then. They were more fun to fish. It wasn't so money hungry, because I don't think guys back then in the tournaments I fished were trying to make a living off, $600 first place prize or anything like that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. What was a big, back in the early 80s, what would be like on your local level, what would be a big first place?
The night tournaments, a couple $100 was first place on the night tournaments I fished.
What was the entry fees?
$30.
How many boats?
There'd be anywhere from 22 to 30.
And that would have been a good sized tournament back then.
Yeah, it was that was at the night tournament out of Toho. And I fished Redmen back in, let's see, 79, 80, 81, 80, 81, I guess. And that was over $1,000 for first place back then. I couldn't tell you exactly. I never won.
But that was big money back then if you won one of those tournaments.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, the tournament on Toho, I had a 905 big fish and got beat up by a 1005 big fish. But in the other five tournaments, it would have been big fish for the other five.
But the one time you caught a big and you got beat by a bigger fish. That sounds about like my luck. This is a good memory here. What about when Danny gave the answer to the question of the week? It was an accident, Doug. that was I was close to doing that several times.
Yeah.
Oh, at least.
And listen, I call him Pops, and I'm being very serious when I said he's like a father figure. A lot of times, guys, you couldn't see him cut his eyes at me because the camera wasn't. Tim might have had the camera on me, and I would say that. I look over at Kevin, and it was just like, oh my Lord,
you're getting mean mugged.
I got mean mugged.
Mean mugged.
Now he said, he mean mugged me in a very respectful way, but it was at least enough for me to go like, Danny, shut up. I mean, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. You did soften me up a little bit because I started wanting to give a clue after 20 minutes of waiting to find the answer.
Well, yeah, but it took about a year or so to do that because he was serious, dude. He was serious. Bottom line outdoors. Caught some schooling bass today, but every time I caught one, the school would split. Is there a way to stop that from happening? If any of you guys know it, let me know because I don't know the answer to that.
They should have come right back together. Because they're going to stay where the bait is.
Yeah, but do you think is it kind of like when we bring one off of a brush pile or off of the timber or something, especially with spotted bass, you bring the school with you. A lot of guys like Emil and all them, Brooks, Anderson, all that, they're like, even Kevin, that school, you might as well go fish something else.
But I think it's two different things. When you pull fish out of a brush pile, whether it be 10 or 50 in that brush pile, they're falling out one bait. When they're schooling, there's thousands of bait sitting there. And if you throw your bait into a school of shad or whatever's out there, wherever you're at, that school splits when that thing hits, and then it comes right back together again. So I would think that school that he's talking about splitting, they would eventually come back together. Not take a lot of time to do it. They come relatively quick.
Was he talking about the school of bait splitting or the school of bass splitting?
I'm reading it as the bass. Now, I don't know.
That's the way I'm reading it, as the bass would split. Yeah, some schooling bass. Every time I caught one, the school would split. So I think he's talking about bass, not the bait.
I think they might make a lap and regroup.
So not too long.
I wouldn't think.
Yeah, they're keeping that bait pinned up to the surface.
Yeah, they don't want to lose their lunch.
What's frustrating, and I know Cranking and Yankin's he's going to be my next comment though, but if you're watching a school on forward-facing sonar and you see a ton of them come up and they just come off the bottom and you think you're getting ready to blow that school up, but they go, maybe one of them hits a fluke or swipes at your fluke or topwater bait, and then all of a sudden every one of them go right back down to the bottom. And it's like the school never happened. They all come off, not that necessarily schooling fish, but seeing like a wolf pack come up and then just totally disappear. That's
by the time you get your bait out there, half of them have already turned and they're not looking. They're just going back to where they came from.
Right back down. You got to be quick, man. Cranking and Yanking, and this is a good one. Hank Parker was my go-to on TV back in the day. So, Kevin, let me ask you this. Dad aside, family aside, TV shows, personalities, professional anglers, which one influenced you the most?
Hank Parker did back then.
Hank Parker?
Yes.
So what was so good about Hank?
I just liked the way he talked, the way he carried himself.
Okay, that makes sense.
Plus, he ran a Ranger.
He ran a Ranger. You were definitely
Well, I think I think back then we were all more or less tuned into a particular brand of what that guy represented. He was he's a man of God, first of all, man of faith,
Mhm.
and you never saw him or ever heard him use foul language or anything. Bill Dance was funny to watch, but I think Hank Parker had a bigger influence on me. I never saw back then. Of course, I don't know if we were smart enough to realize they were fishing in ponds and stuff, captive ponds. But Bill Dance, other than being funny, he was always in a pond where it's just loaded with fish.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to see some old videos of him when he fished the trail before he got out of it. That'd be worthwhile watching.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Let's pull this one back up. If you could only pick one pro to fish with, who would it be? And I want to split that into two questions. One pro from the past, let's say 2000 and before, and then one current. Who would you fish with from the past?
Everybody would say Kevin Van Dam. I'm gonna go with Rick Clunn from the old school and Jacob Wheeler.
Okay, now compare them to the differences or what you like about them.
I think they're both methodical in the way they go about doing their craft. I mean, they study it. They study what they do, and they both can make changes on the fly pretty good too.
Yeah, that is very, very true. Who would you pick, Tim? Just out of curiosity.
From the past?
Yeah.
I don't know. I grew up watching Bill Dance, and I actually got to meet him at ICAST, which was like on my bucket list. But from back then, probably him. And from today, probably Dustin Connell.
Okay, good choices.
That'd be my number two. He's a character. If you ever watch any videos of him, he'll keep you in stitches.
Yeah, those are
He's hilarious. You're gonna have fun on the boat one way or the other.
Well, that's like you and I had fun. We didn't catch no damn fish hardly, but we had fun.
We was having a hoot.
How about this? Papa Pond Hopper, appreciate you joining us tonight. My first bait caster was the Abu Garcia Max Pro combo. I still have it and catch fish on it all the time. Great combo to use. Seems like Abu Garcia was the, other than that Shimano you mentioned, Abu Garcia, he kind of ruled the 80s.
I think in the early days, they were the first ones to really come out with a combo too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but their reels are usually quality reels. Why are watches made over there in Sweden and so forth?
Yeah, there's some highbrow watches over there. Let's see. Jeremy says Ambassador 5500 and 17-pound strand, 100%. And then Cranking and Yanking says the Ambassador speed would change depending on how much line you had on it, and they held a lot of line. That is true.
They did.
Captain Morgan said, now I think he's talking about one of these reels. There's probably a date code on the body of the reel foot, maybe 84-2-86. Are you talking about the Shimano or the Ambassadors? I'll check it out here in a little bit too. Has anyone seen the price of a Zebco 33 lately? It is crazy. That is true. I am way behind on the comments. I'm trying to catch up with them real quick. Cranking and Yanking said, everyone fished in the exact same boat setup when bass started, the good old days.
Yeah.
And that is true. Now, how about this one right here? This is a good question. The Real Backwaters ones. What's the biggest name you've ever fished against? And I know we've talked about it. You fished against some names.
I fished against Fritz, Tommy Biffle, Kevin Worth. Who else? Well, I fished against Shaw Grigsby, Bernie Schultz, Jim Bitter. One other one, I can't think of his name. I can see him just as clear as day.
Who was the one you actually used the bathroom on the boat? I mean, that's how that story got
David
started.
Fritz.
Okay, I knew it was somebody big back then. No, Michael Hefner, we're not going to talk about the time I wore my wife's bra on camera for almost an hour. This is Kevin's night. We need to get you to do that one night, Kevin.
I got a question for Kevin.
Go ahead.
Who are some of the people when you fish co-angler in some of the tournaments? Who are some of the big names that you drew back boat with them?
Those are the ones I drew back, but with
All the ones you just said?
No, I take it back. Fritz, I was in the back of his. Biffle was in the back of his, and Kevin Worth was in the back of his. Grigsby I competed against head to head, and Bernie Schultz, Jim Bitter. Jim Bitter had a brother too that fished. I can't think of his first name, but he was a pretty good fisherman too. But for the life of me, I can't think of the other guy's name. I can tell you what color lizard he caught his fish on.
What color was it? I got to know.
Black chartreuse tail. And let me tell you real quick about this story. He was the fourth day fishing guy that I fished with, and Tommy Biffle was the third day. When Tommy came in and we tied up at the docks, he turned to this guy and he says, "This guy's got a chance to get a check." He said, "So put him on some fish." That morning we took off. He had the front of the boat. We couldn't go up to the front. He caught 5 fish probably within hour, 50 minutes, 40 minutes, somewhere there. He put his rod down and let me fish till I caught my 5 fish. Never once. Fished the bank, down into the cuts, everything. Just a true gentleman.
That does not happen.
Right there.
You don't hear that anymore.
No, I guess I don't know that I've
put
ever
his rod
heard
down and ran the front. That's all he did.
Wow, there you go. That's something that does not happen these days for sure. Crankin goes, I agree with most of what Kevin says, except for one thing, Kevin. Say nope to the scope, Kevin. Nope to the scope. Listen, no, Kevin. I mean, Kevin's, he fishes old school a lot, 100%.
To answer his question there, I can't say that, but I really want to use it to do what they say. I'm trying to do that now, looking at what is on the bottom, what kind of structure I'm finding. But sometimes I'm not sure if that's really just a good brush pile or a rock. And I know a rock's going to give you a harder return, but I'm just not sure. Yeah. So I just want to get to that aspect of it. I don't know if I can ever sit up front and shake a minnow or something like that when I got somebody else in the back of the boat that's wanting to fish too. I wouldn't like it done to me, and I don't think I would do it to somebody else.
And I can believe that 100% right there. Captain Morgan says, Father Time, you liked the way Parker threw that spinner bait, didn't you?
He did roll cast. Yeah, he did good. I got some of his spinner baits, as a matter of fact, still.
Let's see here. I'm trying to make sure I get the questions. A lot of guys talking about how a 6.3 back in the day was fast, and now that we got 10.1s and all that.
Yeah.
He said that Ambassador probably was made in 84, 86. Now, how about Dave Aldridge right here? I got to fish with DC 3 times, and it was some of the most fun I've ever had. And that's pretty good. I mean, yeah, I mean, he's definitely got the personality. I think Aaron Martin's and forward-facing sonar would be insane. Could you imagine somebody of Aaron Martin's skill level if he had forward-facing sonar? If he was still around, probably be unbeatable. Let's see, Kevin.
He was best at his game.
Oh, he was good. Have you ever fished the Charlie Brewer slider worm back in the day?
Yes, and I still have some of the slider heads. I probably still have some of the slider worms down there too.
Really?
Yes, sir.
All right. Here, I'm gonna read the comment from Cranky and Yankee, and then I'm gonna get to Jeremy Conkrat's question real quick. Hank recently reintroduced those spinner baits.
I've got some of the new ones.
Like, why the hell am I surprised? I'm not at all really surprised at all. Good question. And listen, somebody, and I'm not going to say of your age, but somebody of your experience. This is a legit question. Why can't old school fishing and forward facing sonar be used together?
They can. Yeah. I think they are still. I really do. I mean, you see a lot of guys out there with the forward fishing out there in deeper water, but still there's some old school fishing there in the fact that you've got to put the bait where they're at, what you're throwing. And you had to do that whether you were fishing without forward-facing sonar. It wasn't just blind casting. If you're beating the bank and you know you're not getting anything, why are you staying there? So that's all forward-facing sonar does, give you an idea that there's something there.
Yeah.
But I still think they're one of the same, and it can be done together. We're going to find out this year anyway on the trails.
There you go.
I think that's what Danny and I were doing at the Toys for Tots, because, I mean, We were just so proud to come in with 5 fish in a bag.
We were happy.
We were like, yeah,
What
we
they
got
weigh?
5.
I never heard that. What they weigh? Your
We
five
only had
fish?
13.
That's not bad.
No, listen, it's not bad, but like honestly, we did not. I mean, again, we were supposed to be the 9th boat out. We decided to go out last. We just kind of puttered our way through, and we basically fun fished, and we fished some stuff, some river stuff that I'm not used to fishing, and to be honest, we just had a great time, and so we went in there with very good expectations, and we made the most of it. So
Yeah, we figured out a little bit of a pattern and thought, well, this is all we got, so we're going to work it, and it paid off.
it paid off. We caught fish. Let's see. There was a question about somebody's dad up here. Oh, Craftmaster. There it is. I had it pulled up.
Yeah, he just want to know if he fished with his dad.
Cliff Craft. Do you remember a Cliff Craft?
No, I know who he is, but no, I didn't fish with him.
Oh, but you do know him.
I know who he is. Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. Let me see. I think I have finally caught up. How about this one? Tennessee River Bass. I haven't seen that name out there tonight. Appreciate you joining us. I know when a good school of largemouth are about done, I start catching spots. Anybody else experience this? Now he's probably, I mean, now when you say a good school of largemouth, Kevin, you probably got to go down. I mean, I know Lanier's got largemouth and all that, but I don't know that we have schools like maybe Sinclair or Oconee.
I don't think they have good schools down there of largemouth. If you want, to me, a good school is going to be a Florida lake.
A Florida lake, or he's probably up in the Tennessee River. You know, he's probably up there Chattanooga or somewhere like that where you get on them ledges or something like that. I imagine they school up pretty good up there.
Yeah, well, that's what I said earlier. They'll pile up better up there than they will on our lakes.
Well, what do you think about what he's saying, though, that he's found a good school of largemouth. He's catching them. They've been active. Now they're about done. Now he starts catching spots because I think our experience would be the opposite.
Opposite, yeah.
Because our spotted bass are so aggressive, they're going to outcompete your largemouth most times. Yeah. And so you're going to work through your spots, and then maybe you luck into a largemouth, especially if they're schooling. I know we got some largemouth now that school, especially like over here on Latham, that will school out there chasing herring. But generally, you're going to catch the spots first.
Right.
I mean, I'm really into this. Can you tell us where you're fishing? Gunnersville. All right. So listen. So we got a guy, Dave Aldridge, might still be watching. So Dave, have you experienced anything like that? Because Dave's got a house on Gunnersville. He fishes Gunnersville quite a lot. And Dave, if you're still out there, have you ever experienced that? Getting into a good school of largemouth, and then all of a sudden, you start catching some spots. So I think that would be really interesting. And there's Alex. Alex says he likes to fish shallow with his forward-facing sonar. So, hey, you know.
Yeah, I've heard more and more about that too, Danny, about fishing shallow with forward-facing sonar.
You did what now? I didn't hear the first part.
I'm starting to hear more and more people talk about fishing shallow with forward-facing.
Yeah, for sure. Now, let me ask you this. All right, let's say you go out tomorrow on Allatoona. We'll do Allatoona and we'll do Sinclair Oconee because they're two different lakes. But let's say you got zero electronics on your boat at all. You're going out tomorrow on Allatoona. What are the first two things you're going to try to throw? And would they be the same thing as going down to Sinclair and Oconee? Would they be the same two baits, or would you vary them up because one's more of a spot lake and another's a largemouth lake?
With the weather like it is, I don't think they're going to be shallow, but I'm still going to throw a spinnerbait first thing. If that's a spinnerbait or rattle trap, and I'm going to hit a bluff wall. That's where I'm going to be at. And then the second one's going to be a Carolina rig, and I'll get off the points and throw it up and drag it out. And I would do that on Oconee or Sinclair too.
So you just take it and works at all the lakes.
That's just my confidence in trying to find out what's going on first. If I don't do any good in those two, then I'll have to find something else to do, and I'll do a shaky head or a do nothing or a wacky style worm, something along that. I threw a chicken rig the other day and didn't do any good with it, but I did try it.
Well, how long do you give your Carolina rig and spinnerbait before you do that?
I'm old school, Danny. These guys that run and gun and do 40, 50 spots a day or more, if I hit 10 spots a day, I feel pretty good. Because I'm going to work that thing for a half hour. I might turn around and go back and start over again, even though I didn't get a bite. I just know they're there in my mind. And that's probably another weakness that I have. But I've caught fish there before, and they've either moved out or they moved up and down the bank somewhere, but they're there. I just got to find them, make them
That sounds
bite.
like me and you, Tim.
Yeah.
I mean, we would work the same spots, or we found where we caught fish, and then we would look for the same looking stuff.
As we were working our way back up, we were like, hey, let's try this one. And it paid off. But at first, we were going, after we took off, I looked over at him and I was like, where are we going? I'm driving, but I got no destination.
And I told him, I don't know this part of the lake, dude.
We literally sat down in the middle of the Chattahoochee and went, that looks fishy, and went over there and started working around.
They say the biggest weakness is fishing spots you've got good history on. But I'd say 90% of us still do that to start with. Where we caught fish or have caught fish, we do that.
Yeah, we do.
Then we go from there.
All right, Tennessee River. Dave did answer, and he says, yes, he has seen that. I think the spots are mixed in, but the schools of largemouth are more plentiful, but get more wary of the pressure. And so once I guess that school is kind of getting wary, then your spots are dumb and they're going to start hitting. Papa Pond Hopper wants to know, Kevin, do you think the fish will be up shallow this weekend? You kind of said something like that. The ponds have been frozen over the last couple of weeks, and this weekend is supposed to be in the 50s and the ice has melted. I actually, when I was picking up my deer the other day in ball ground, coming from North Georgia deer processing, coming down the hill, there was a lake out there, and half of that lake was froze over. I mean, I'm sure it was very thin, but it was froze over. Do you think on a smaller body of water that the fish will move up shallow?
In the 50s. I don't know what kind of bait they have up there. Yeah, they got to eat. They got to eat sometimes. So yeah, I'm Florida boy. I'm gonna work shallow first and go deep if I have to. But until they convince me I'm wrong, I'm gonna stay that way.
I would think if he's fishing ponds, smaller lakes, say 10 acres less, maybe, I would say probably bluegill is probably your predominant bait species. Or something. Maybe someone got gizzards. So I guess find where the bluegill are. If the bluegill up shallow, the bass are sure to probably follow for sure. Let's see here. There was I like Alex's this right here. He's talking about that jig, and then a jig, and if those don't work, I'll throw a jig. Makes sense for sure. The real backwater.
That's not a bad philosophy, though.
It's not a bad philosophy at all. How about this? What was your go-to to find out the bottom of a new lake? Again, before electronics, back in the old days. How did you figure out what you had? Was it that Carolina rig?
No. Beat up rattle trap that I didn't mind losing if it got hung.
That's what you would explore the bottom with.
Yeah, 3/4 ounce. Just throw it out there and drag it.
Okay, fair enough.
Back then we didn't have tungsten. We had just some old lead weights.
Right.
So you were just dragging through mud. But down in Florida, again, you don't have a lot of rocky bottom. You'd have shell beds. And you knew when you hit the shell bed with a piece of lead. But other than that, it was just muck or coming through grass.
Right. Papa Pond Hopper's in Kentucky. I'm at northern Kentucky, and it's mainly bluegill. First of all, I think it's really cool we got guys from Kentucky watching our show. I love that. But yeah, I would say on a pond, they're gonna be where the bait is if they're active and feeding. So if you can find the bluegill, that's your
well,
best.
Their metabolism slowed down. They've been under ice and they're ready to eat. So yeah, I think they're gonna go shallow myself.
Okay, well, there you go. Give it a shot. Kevin, did you ever use a Humminbird Super 60 flasher?
I don't know if it was called a Super 60, but yeah, I had a flasher in the boat, dead center by the steering wheel.
Now, when the flasher came out, did people fuss about it?
No.
Oh, no. Okay. What about paper graphs when they first came out? 2D sonar and all that.
I never had a paper graph. I had 2D. I did have the color selector though.
Did it work?
Yes. Was it right? Was it accurate? I couldn't tell you that. But did I throw it out there when did I drop it down every time I went for the first year or two? Hell yeah.
Did you have confidence in it?
I was trying to develop confidence in it, but when it was a new gadget and you saw the pros using it on TV, so by God, I'm going to use it too.
Yeah, makes total sense for me.
It catches us, like you say all the time.
Oh, absolutely. Kevin, with all your years of fishing, do you notice that your instincts are usually accurate when targeting areas of or on the lake?
Hell no.
Why not?
because I struggle. I really do. I struggle up here. If there's some kind of structure in the water that I can see from the bank, or I can see where you've got mud or sand meeting rock, yeah, then I know what to do with that kind of aspect of it. But if I go to, like when I went on Allatoona, first places I started running was upriver, because I couldn't understand being 10 feet off the bank and in 40 feet of water.
Right.
You know? So I would go upriver where it was a little shallower, and I could relate to that. And I still do that.
Do you find I mean, is that your confidence area though? Just
I'd rather
anything
run
shallow?
north on Tuna than I would south. Yes.
Oh, okay, makes sense. Cranky and Yankin's got a good thing here. Topo map will kind of help you figure out the bottoms for sure. Now Aaron says, I like 3 days of a warming trend before I look for fish to change patterns in cold water. So that's solid. Mike Geiger, as always, decides to show up better late than never, and it doesn't matter as long as you show up. We don't care. Back to Papa Pond Hopper in Kentucky. He says, I've been throwing a jig all winter and I haven't gotten a bite. I've tried slow dragging the bottom. I've tried hopping it. What am I doing wrong? Now, again, Kevin, give him your best guess. He's in a pond. The primary bait fish would be bluegill. Alex says it could be huh?
I'd be swimming it, swim jig. If he's in a pond, I'd be throwing a swim jig.
Okay, and why?
Because it'll imitate a bluegill better than one being dragged on the bottom.
Okay, all right. And if not a swim jig, what would be your next bet?
Rattle trap.
Even in a pond?
Yeah.
Okay, what color would you throw in a brim-infested pond? I'm
Fire
curious.
tiger.
I knew that was coming. Oh, fire tiger right there. And it could be a size or a color thing, Papa. That's what Alex said. So just out of curiosity, Papa, what color, Papa, like I said, Papa Pond Hopper, what color jigs have you been throwing? Just out of curiosity. Aaron Young says he has a Lawrence paper graph in his stash for sure. I have to agree with Kevin. This is pretty good. I've been fishing for many years and my instincts suck.
Hey, Mike, thank you.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Kevin, and just watch it. And again, I know you're a good angler. I know you know you're saying you suck and all that. I know you're a good angler, but what do you think separates a good angler from a great angler? What you've seen throughout the years, what's that separation?
Oh God. You know, I think the textbook is probably going to tell you that one that hones their crafts and continues to improve. But I think the good angler from a great angler is a great angler will make adjustments, where a good angler wants to stick with something that he just thinks is going to work, because that's where my strength is, and I haven't developed enough strengths to change from that or to try something different. You know, when you talk about going back, when you look at certain parts of the lake, or you think about things, when the wind is blowing out of the northwest, where should you be fishing? On the windward side, right? Or where that wind's blowing into. And how many times have you done that and not caught a damn fish? And yet they tell you that's where the fish are going to be.
Yep.
And going back to it, I like 3 days of warm weather. Well, we'd all like that, but I got to go to work those 2 of those 3 days. So you have to fish when you get a chance. You just can't rely. And the weatherman is, I'd like to have a job where I was right 50% of the time. No,
I agree.
And still get paid. So, you know, and our pros that we watch and we follow, they don't get to pick what the weather's going to be if I want to go or not. They got to go all the time. And some of those guys get skunked.
They do for sure. Andy Williams, I like this. In West Virginia, jigs all winter long in lakes. If in a pond, throw a creature or crawl, all water has crawls in it for sure. And I saw Cranky and Yankin say, pick up the wacky worm. Put the jig down, pick up the wacky. I agree with you on that. That is where me and Crankin agree a lot right there. Dave said, get ready, Kevin, because Gunnersville has a lot of open water. Damn right it does, for sure. And Aaron says, if a pond has a clean bottom, fish a rattle trap, ripping it off the bottom, then let it fall back. Is that how you fish your trap?
I will. No. I just do like everybody else. I throw it out in the reel, and every now and then I'll just pull that rod, or, you know, I don't speed the reel up because I'm not coordinated enough to do that without my hand coming off.
Yeah.
So I just jerk that rod every now and then, but no, now, will I throw it off the bottom? Yeah, I'll do that, but I'd rather do it with a blade bait when I do that. I'll yo-yo it if I don't let it hit the bottom.
Yeah.
I do a spinner bait same way.
Who was it the other night talking about using a spinner bait as a jig? You ever done that?
Just
Like-
drag it?
Like
No.
dragging it?
No.
Who did we have
You
on
can
the other
blow
night?
roll them across the bottom.
So,
Blow rolling, yeah, but not dragging. On a side, that hook.
Seemed like
Yeah.
me, you get hung up in everything.
who did I have on the other night? This shows you my memory. Who was my guest Tuesday and last Thursday? I wasn't here. Who was my guest Tuesday?
Tuesday?
Yeah. I'm
This
having a
past
brain.
Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm having a brain fart.
You had what's his name?
Good grief, I suck.
Oh God.
We all do right now. It's like we're all drawing a blank.
Well, I've been concentrating. I can't honestly remember who we had. I mean, I could pull it up real quick.
Yeah,
Will.
Will
right, Will
Harkins.
Harkins. I don't think it was Will. I think it must have been one of the before. Somebody was talking about using a spinnerbait like a jig. The young guy said it. John G said. Some scoper probably cranking and yanking. Damn you. He did say cranking and yanking did say this. If you use the wind direction, use it a day behind. Fish at the wind blown side the day after, not the day of. There you go. Okay, good advice. Everybody does things. Yeah, that's the day you got to work.
Okay.
All right, I want to do this because we've been going an hour and 40, and again, you've answered a lot of great questions and all that. But I want to kind of get back to you, Kevin, the person and all that you are and all that. Where do you see fishing going, in your opinion, in the next 10 years?
Oh God, Danny, I think I'd like to see it evolve into a sport where it got national TV coverage, much like a golf tournament or something along that line there. But my mind just can't encapsulate, I guess, how they would do that. How they're going to get that kind of coverage from those boring hours. At least in golf, you get to see the guy hit a golf ball or mess up with a putt. You don't get to see that when you're fishing. It's just constant casting and reeling. Is the sport going to get bigger? I don't know. I think it's like any other venture. I think somebody's going to end up buying one of the other trails and combining. But that's the only way they're ever going to get to a spot where they can get more money and better payouts for these pros.
Okay.
It's if you listen to everybody and what they're saying, it's really not lucrative for anybody if you're not the top 10.
That's true. That's true. It's so expensive to fish in it too. All right, now let me rephrase that same question this way. You got kids, you got grandkids. You're gonna have great grandkids come along at some point. What do you want to see for them when it comes to fishing and the outdoors? What can we do now?
You know how I feel about bed fishing. No, I think we just have to take a better care of our resources so that we leave something for our kids and their kids to continue to have and create memories, whether it be survival or whether it be just for fun to at least take care of that fish and return it to the waters in a safe manner so that their chances of survival increase. I would certainly love to see that. We don't spend enough money on our resources.
That's true.
Take care of.
Would you ever be in favor of bass fishing going to like a catch, weigh, and release or catch, measure, and release than
for tournaments?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's really the only way to go. But to do that, you got to have a second person in the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about them sometimes. Get your fish on. He had that topic the other day about are we going to bring co-anglers back? They never should have taken them away.
Right.
In my opinion. We can sit here all day long and debate whether or not that guy up front's trying to make a living and earn a living. Well, you think I'm just donating? I could have given the $100 and sat on the bank or gone fishing my own boat. I mean, it's no different. So I get to see what he does.
Right.
No, I think they need to bring co-anglers back so that you can eliminate some of this he said, she said stuff, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And allow me to fish too. Doing away with forward-facing sonar is going to do that. It's going to help that in those tournaments if they bring them back.
I agree. Silverpunk says, "Thank you, Kevin, for all your wisdom and advice each week and all the painstakingly difficult questions. You are definitely respected and loved by all your peers and fellow anglers." For
Make
sure.
up stuff as I go. So
Yeah, Aaron says courtesy needs a comeback. I agree with him 100% on that.
absolutely, for sure.
Yeah. Crankin' and Yankin says, "We don't inherit from our ancestors, we borrow from our children." I read that somewhere. And I know the point he's making.
Oh, that is powerful.
It's deep, ain't it? We borrow from our children. So listen, and I know we give them a hard time, but that is a very profound statement right there. So, and I don't have all the answers. Smarter guys than me will figure it out, like Kevin and all that. But Kevin, I want to say this again. I mean, first of all, the reason I did this show, not only is because how much I respect you, but just I wanted to give you a night where you could answer questions because you always listen to everybody else. And like you said, you're taking notes and you're paying attention, and you're absorbing it. But boss man, you got a lot of knowledge up there in that noodle. I know you're acting like, well, I struggle and all that. Well, that's just being humble and everything. I listen to the way you talk. I listen to your answers and the things you said. I've listened to them since the first time you ever walked into my shop. And I know you know what you're talking about and all that. But the thing I like about you most is you know where you stand. It doesn't take me long to ask you a question, and I know what side of an argument or whatever. Tim, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, he's whether you agree with Kevin or not, you know where he stands on a certain subject. You mentioned bed fishing. Boom, you're right there. I knew before you even said that. I know exactly what your stance on that and all that. But I just respect you for being that way. It is a lot, the world's full of yes men, or just they'll say, hey, hey, I get to be on your podcast, so I'm just going to say whatever Danny wants me to say. And you ain't that guy, and I don't like that guy, and you've never been that guy. So I just want to say, number one, all the stuff I said at the beginning of the show, 100%. I love the daylight side of you, respect you and all that, and you are like a father figure. But I just you're a man's man, and there's a shortage of men's men for even guys that in their 50s to look up to. And I just want to say thank you for, who the hell you are.
Or, if you want to be a winner, you got to surround yourself with winners. And in this case, that's what I've done. I can't begin to thank you guys enough for this tribute. I mean, just to hang with you guys is more than I could ever want or ask for. It really is. Terry will say, "You going over with your buddies Thursday night?" And yeah, that's where I'm going. She knows, and I miss feeding you guys. The hell, I miss eating too.
Yeah,
you need to figure that one out.
I'm going to figure it out.
As a matter of fact, Terry said tonight I'd take her to the doctor for her foot. But anyway, she says, "What are you going to feed the guys?" I says, "Babe, we're not together anymore in one spot." She said, "Oh, that's right." I said, "Last year we had shrimp and everything."
I know, dude. Like tonight I ate a damn frozen pizza, Kevin. I'm suffering over here, Kevin. You could Uber eat me and Tim. We'll give you the addresses. You could Uber eat or something, over here.
Remember when he had it delivered to the store by?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, y'all don't
we
know.
We determined that Kevin is a gang. He's one of the OG gangsters with Publix. I mean, he picks up the phone, food will appear.
I remember the first time
in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were in Florida, and we were sitting there going, I guess I'll run to the store and get a bag of pork skins or something. And this guy walks in, and he goes, Mr. Thornton sent this. And we were like, holy smokes.
Yeah, that was the funniest damn thing. I'm like, oh, my God, dude. Kevin is feeding us, and he's not even on the show.
Right.
Captain J. Morgan. Kevin, I'm not sure I've ever laughed as hard just by watching someone else laugh. Of course, we didn't even mention vapor locks tonight. So thank you for that. Obviously, the fishing, when you talk, people listen. I think that's high compliment, dude. I mean, and again, I don't think we're blowing smoke up your ass. We're just saying the truth of what it is. And there are people that come in and out of your lives. The public's godfather. That's exactly what he is. There are people that come in and out of your life constantly. Some guys will stay and then you won't see them for a while. I mean, and it happens to all of us. But then there's some guys that come in and they leave a mark. Like if I didn't see you for if this was the last time I ever got to talk to you, Kevin Thornton left a mark. And I think that's probably the biggest compliment you can give somebody is that even during a short time, because we've known each other, what, 2.5 years?
About that 2.5, yeah.
About 2.5 years. Like the mark you've left. To me, that's the testament of a man that, and I just want to say thank you.
But I think the thank you needs to come from me. It's
I don't
said,
think so. No.
you guys, and the people that watch the show. I hope they understand how much fun, not just that we have, but I have in doing this and being with you guys and having their comments come in and the questions. That just, I love doing that. It just makes my day when I can stump somebody or have fun with somebody. And I'm not laughing at anybody. I'm laughing with them. And I hope they're laughing with me.
Yeah.
But, also going back to what you said about being serious, I was taught seek to understand, then be understood. So before I'm going to open my mouth, I'm going to try and figure out what you're trying to tell me so that I can best address it in terms that you're going to appreciate. I'm not trying to win an argument. I'm just trying to make a point.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think, like there's been a lot of daggum Buddha phrases thrown out tonight. Some of these highbrow, we got to think about when Cranking and Yanking and Kevin are throwing out all these phrases and all that. I'm like, oh, we got to take notes. I got to go back and watch it again. Kevin, thank you for your knowledge and friendship to all of us at Fish North Georgia. That's from Doug Phillips. And the Real Backwaters. Let me pull this one up. Danny needs to tie up a Father Time inspired jig. That's from Silver Play. That wasn't the one I was going to pull up, but yeah, still, Kevin, if there was a jig that represented you, what would it be?
Fire Tiger.
Fire Tiger. Yeah, that'd be an ugly ass jig too. This one was the one I meant to pull up. I've worked in law enforcement for 28 years, and I can always remember that one supervisor I will always respect and take the knowledge I learned from them. And I know Tim feels the same way about some of those guys. I'm going to read a few more of these right here. I like everything Kevin has to say. He makes me think about how I fish and what I do, and he's not that much older than me. Hot damn, how old are you, Geiger? Like that.
He's born in 1960.
Yeah, I know about how Kevin carries himself on the show. He is a true gentleman, and he is. He is. And then I'm gonna finish it with this one right here from Vanessa. Thank you, Tim and Danny, for this tribute to our Papa. What is it, Pape?
Poppy.
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 Hey, what's your middle name again?
DeMont.
It's
you
still,
didn't let me spell it.
It's still, I know, but it's like Pepe Le Pew, Pape DeMont. It's like French. So
yeah,
he really is the best.
Let me spell it for those people that are figuring this thing out.
Yeah, because it might be a trivia question down the line, so pay attention.
All right. My middle name is spelled small d-e dash capital M-O-N-T-E. The E is silent, so it's DeMont. Kevin DeMont, but the E is there. Don't ask me how I got it. It's my dad's name, that too. So
Pape DeMont, that's some kind of French shit.
It is. It's almost like Pepe. I got you.
Pepe, there you go. Well, listen, first of all, guys, listen. Hey, thank you for joining us tonight. Again, like I said, this was the episode that I wanted to do for a long time because I really do respect this old fart more than he knows. Love his wife. I try to tell you, like, listen, I'm telling you, she's in good hands, Kevin.
Thank you, guys.
You are welcome, and I love you guys.
That was very
Thank
sweet.
you, Danny. It means the world to me.
Well, you mean the
all
world.
Our viewers and guests.
Yeah. Well, again, like I said, you make a mark. And you're doing it with your clothes on and not naked on the back of your boat like that.
He tells me that time that I left a mark too. So
yes, you left a mark. but we're not gonna get to do a Christmas show because it's Thursday. So I get to go ahead and tell both you guys. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and happy holidays and all that. And I hope you and your family and all that get to spend all the time together. I know it's a time that you're gonna enjoy, and I can't tell you I love you enough.
Our best to y'all for a safe and happy holiday and Merry Christmas, and to our viewers and watchers at home. We hope that you have a blessed holiday season, a safe one, and a prosperous New Year as we go into it.
That's right. And again, y'all heard him say it earlier. He is going to foot the bill for Vegas. Tim, I heard that. We got it on tape. Didn't he say it?
Yeah, we're rolling. I'm ready now.
I heard him say it. He might not remember it, but I heard him say it. So
I'm sure if the wife's watching, she's already thinking this out, planning it out.
No, we'll have a great time.
We will. Amanda would love to hang out with you, Miss.
Yes.
She will. Yes. If anybody's going to get in trouble in Vegas, it'll be the women.
It
Yeah.
100%. We know it. So, all right, guys. So we're gonna Tim. I appreciate you joining me with that, and all you guys that made videos for me for Kevin. Thank you guys for helping me out on this too. If I, we'll have a show Tuesday. We'll do a Tuesday night episode, and I'll do a couple of lunch breaks. But if we don't see you between now and Christmas, hey, we love all you guys. Merry Christmas to all you guys. Remember why we celebrate Christmas. Okay, you have fun with your family, and you have all the you have all your presents and all that. And I know I'm a heathen, but there is a reason why we celebrate this holiday. So I want each and every one of you to actually really, really think about that while we are apart. And again, we're going to let you guys go. If enjoy your weekend. If you get out on the water or you're in the woods or something, be safe because we want you to come back. And we want to be able to see you again at a later time. And just thank you for supporting this show. And again, I don't think Kevin and Tim and all the guys, Tony, all the guys, Clint, Alex, every one of them, you have no idea. You have no idea how much you mean. Alex wants to know, did you show the videos? Yeah, right there at the beginning, Alex. You have to go back and watch the beginning of the show. So we're gonna let you guys go. We know who wasn't watching at the beginning. All right.
Danny, I got one more thing, and
Say it.
last Saturday when I fished that tournament, I had two guys walk up to me after the tournament, and one of them looked at me and says, "Well, what's your name?" And I says, "Kevin." He says, "Father Time," and I said, "Yes." And so we got to talking. He introduced his friend to me as well. But what I want to say is, if any of you guys see any of us out there, we all have a hat that we usually try and wear. Please take the time to come up and introduce yourself and say hello. We'd love to meet you and put a face with a name.
Absolutely.
We don't get to do that.
No, not as much, but you're 100% correct. So good point. And with that, I am going to end this episode. So again, you guys, hey, be safe out there, and we will catch you on the next one. And so one more time, Father Time, I love you, bro.
So much. Love you guys too, very much.
All right,
My
we'll
hat's
see you
off to
guys.
you, sir.
100%. We should, but I didn't want to blind everybody, Tim.
I do.
There you go. All right, we'll see you guys later.